So finally, after a week of being stuck at the same post office where my RG351V was stuck, I got my Q90. Yay! Hi, my name is Amy Vishwanatha and you are watching Techie Housewife. Okay, after enjoying the PowKiddy V90 so much, I had to get the Q90, especially after I saw what it looked like. And I had no trouble picking out which one I wanted. Now, I am very curious if the experience with this will be any different than the V90, as this is laid out horizontally and the V90 is laid out in a clamshell design, more like GBA SP. So I want to get right to it. Let's go. Let's get this open. Get that out of the way. And this is what I want to see. And I picked it specifically because I love the color. I picked this one. And you know, this does look like a switch light. This could be switch extra light, maybe? I don't know, could be. But it feels, just feeling it in my hands right now, it feels pretty sturdy. Buttons might be a little soft. Not terribly soft, but definitely softer than V90. I'll know more once I play. Another difference is we have the analog stick. It's similar to PSP's. It's not raised up and it slides, so it doesn't have the range of movement like the Switch would have. But it's really, it's sturdy. I'm pushing and the plastic is not caving in and it's withstanding my pressure, so I think that's really good. One thing I will say is for me, I think it's okay, but for an adult with bigger hands, it might be a little difficult. I think kids would absolutely love the size of this though. I think it would work perfect for kids. So, as usual, let's see what's in here. We have the USB cable and we have the instructions as well. So let me get that out of the way. And then we can see what's really going on with this thing here. Okay, so we have the basic setup. USB-C, triggers, power button, then the micro SD and headphones, and of course the volume. And there is, again, just like the V90, we have that battery right there and the speakers. Okay, seems to be a fingerprint magnet on this side. So let me turn it on and let's see what this thing does. The screen is pretty. Maybe not as vibrant as the V90, but I think they look close to the same. My battery life is less on this. Why don't I quickly play a game so we can see what the screen really looks like and how the graphics are. So what I like is this opens right up. You have everything you need right there immediately. Here we go. Super responsive. So it works really well. You have the bounce back. Here, let me just pause it. Let's see, how can we get out here? I'm gonna try this. Okay, that's super easy to figure out. So I'm thinking usability is really good on this. I figured that out right away, actually. So that takes us back to our SFC menu, and then let me see, how do I get back? That suspends it. Oh, I just hit start again. So super easy usability, like right out of the box. I didn't even have to do too much to figure this out, so I really, really like that. I think PowKiddy is really good at doing that. So the colors were good. The game was clear. I could see what I was doing. It was fun. And the buttons worked perfectly for me. The only thing I might find a problem with is when you're using the D-pad a lot, and especially with bigger fingers. Mine are kind of okay, but bigger fingers, you're going to hit this button and it might mess up your gameplay. Just a thought. And even over here, if you get too excited, you might hit the plus button. I'm going to say that this is perfect out of the box experience for me, in my opinion. So lining all three of these up, what is completely obvious is Retroid Pocket 2 is absolutely best one sitting here. If somebody told you Nintendo made this, you might actually believe them because it looks and feels like that kind of a quality. Now, obviously, Q90 is smaller than both of these, and I actually thought this was kind of small, so I'm actually a little surprised about that. So let me move this and compare these two. Now, I will say, the buttons on the Family Pocket are very mushy, and the plastic, when touched, it caves to just a little bit of pressure, so it's just a few dollars cheaper than this. So the quality of the PowKiddy Q90 is very, very good. Very good for if you want to give it as a gift. Completely economical. I just kind of wanted to compare another horizontal handheld device just to show you what the differences are. The funny thing is, using V90's buttons and D-pad seems quite a bit easier, and I do find it weird as this is spread farther apart, and you would think it would be more comfortable. I just find that so interesting. If you take a look, your hands are closer together. This is spread out, but I do feel the V90 is better from a gameplay perspective and how comfortable your fingers sit, which is such a crazy thing. And I love the trigger buttons being right here. It feels right. I feel like I can play if I had to, which I don't on this, but if I had to, I could use the triggers. This, it seems a little, I mean, I could, but it's a little more work doing that. But I thought you would like to see that as well. And you can see the screen sizes if I put them next to each other. I do think they're very similar when it comes to the screen. So the volume was decent on here. I don't think it is as loud as the V90's, and it's not muffled. It's pretty sharp and clear, so that's good. And when I was playing, I didn't see any ghosting, but I only played one game, so I want to play more. But before I do that, the specs here on Q90 are pretty much the same as V90. So if I take the SD card out of V90, which has the custom firmware, it should work, right? So I want to do that right now. I just also want to mention that to update the custom firmware is the same process as updating the V90. So I'll link my video below showing how to do that in the description. So here we go. It flew across the room. Almost went into the fireplace. I rescued it. Let's see if this does work. I'll definitely be more careful with this one. Okay. And here we go. It flew again. I think today is just going to be one of those days. Okay, I got it in. So now the moment of truth. Let us turn it on. Just as I thought. Wow, and I think the volume seems louder. I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the firmware. Let's get right to the emulators and see what we can find to play and how it looks. How about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Okay, the volume is quite loud. That's good. There was a change. I don't think I've ever played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it seems to be working great. I like the colors on here. You can see the screen pretty clear. Oh! So it does play pretty good, but I still think that I prefer to play on V90. I think the V90 is much more comfortable with, but this, especially for the price, is still a great device. Not to mention it's completely adorable, but I think it's so cool that I can just switch back and forth between the device. So that worked, and the screen is good. The colors are nice. The hues are, you can see the colors, the hues, and everything, even on a game like this. Can you see how vibrant the colors are on here? The hues. It played pretty good. There might have been a slight hesitation for, I think, the B button, but other than that, I think it plays great. So it looks like I was right. It worked perfectly. How does it compare to V90? I think we still know that V90 is the best of these emulation handhelds under $40. Now Q90 only costs 36 US dollars. So it's slightly less than what we paid for V90, and it still has a great quality to it. And I mean, for the price, I could still take this anywhere, whereas if the V90, it just folds up and you can toss it anywhere. So I do like that with that. This is probably my favorite out of the two for the aesthetics. I absolutely love the way it looks. I am still sticking to what I said about V90 being the best handheld emulation device under $40. And I would say this would be the second. The overall quality for the price paid is better than some of the slightly more expensive ones that I've held in my hands. So, in a sense that it's sturdy and it holds up to pressure and everything like that. So, what are my overall thoughts on the Q90, and do I recommend it? Of course, I do recommend the PowKiddy Q90. It has the same specifications as the V90, and it's probably one of the most adorable handheld emulation devices, which I don't know if you look for that, but sometimes I do. The price range is excellent. The quality of the materials used is great. The buttons are a little softer than V90, but they are still responsive. They still bounce back. There are a couple of things that may make somebody hesitate to purchase it if they're purchasing it for themselves. First of all, it's a little small for an adult hand. My hands are kind of small, so it fits okay with me. But the D-pad is super close to the home button, and that could be a problem during gameplay. For an adult with bigger hands, your hand may cramp up while trying to play this game. So while I do feel that it's sturdy enough that I could take it with me, I probably would not be as careless with it as I would the V90, because the V90 has the clamshell design, whereas this is kind of open to anything that can come at it. When you keep in mind that you're paying under $40 for a device that feels as sturdy as this, that you can open up and immediately start playing, you really don't need any instructions whatsoever, then I think you might be willing to take it and throw it in a car, right? And also, this would be such a great gift for a kid, or for anybody for that matter. I think PowKiddy has really found what it takes to make affordable and pretty decent quality handheld emulation devices that people can just open up, play immediately, and love them. Way to go, PowKiddy. As far as aesthetics, this is my favorite out of the two. It's like a Switch extra light. Also, I just want to mention one more time that updating the firmware on Q90 is the same process as on V90. I will link my video in the description below so you can see how to do that. That is all I have for today. Thank you for joining me. Please share this video. As always, have a game-tastic day.